I am finally doing the thing that all of you guys have been begging me to do for the longest time. I am becoming a professional hand holder. Okay, just kidding. I'm not really gonna go all out on this route, but I am getting ready for the Shaw Classic to go up against my arch nemesis, my great enemy, Lawrence I don't know how to say that. What kind of name is that? Do I know how to arm wrestle? Not really. Am I scared? Yes. So that's why I brought my emotional support coach, Derek Smith. And he's gonna teach me the ropes of how to do this and how to beat a guy that is way more experienced than me, but also old. So old. Like way older than me, at least twice my age. At least. So I got a chance. All right, Derek. So just tell the fans, what is your background in the sport?
Been arm wrestling about 15 years now. I sucked at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. As anything you start, I know I was gonna be bad. And I knew I was gonna have to get my ass whooped for a long time until I was good. And so I started as much as I could, just attending everything and just losing all the time. And then over the years, my obsessive, crazy brain just made me go all in until I learned how to use this giant frame of mine. So currently, number one in California. Took a while to get there, but that's the bar's up here. That's just this part, you know. And but yeah, I run a lot of online communities. So I'm the admin on the subreddit for arm wrestling, which is like 35,000 people. I do podcasts. I do my YouTube channel. I run a Discord server for it. So it's just like all things. I run my team. I have one of the biggest teams in North America. Started about 13 years ago out here in Southern California, and just my life just revolves around arm wrestling at this point.
Okay, so what makes you such a good coach? Because obviously people gravitate towards you. I've seen this. People are gravitating to you for learning the ropes.
I feel like people overcomplicate arm wrestling a lot, and especially at the beginning level, it's really simple. And I think I found a good way to articulate it and make it digestible to a lot of people. When you go to somebody else that coaches, a lot of times they'll throw big words out and complicated things to people, and it doesn't settle. So I think one of the things I pride myself in is I've dumbed it down, where it's still true, but you can say very simple things that hold true throughout arm wrestling. So I think at a beginner level, especially when they're starting to learn the phrases and whatnot, I think that it resonates with people a lot better.
Yeah,
so
I look forward to learning this in a way that it just doesn't seem like elbow math.
Right.
And of course, before we really dive into this, it's going to be important for you guys to just catch up on a little bit of history, or whatever we know of it.
Let me give you a brief history. Arm wrestling may have been around way longer than we think, like possibly thousands of years longer, with multiple artistic depictions and mentions of two people clasping arms in shows of strength. It's argued by some that forms of arm wrestling have been practiced in ancient Greece, India, and maybe even Egypt as far back as 2000 BCE. But the modern sport, that started in a little town called Petaluma, California in 1952. A man named Bill Soberanis threw the first legitimate tournament and called it wrist wrestling because I guess arm wrestling was a little too dramatic. It blew up to the point where ESPN broadcast the finals. Then in 1987, a movie called Over the Top came out featuring Sylvester Stallone with peak testosterone and peak cringe. After that, well, the sport kind of vanished from the spotlight, and it wasn't until this platform brought it more life. With the internet, people like Devin Larratt, Leviathan Levon Saginashvili, and Brian Shaw have made it global. There are federations, shows on YouTube, and guys with hands the size of frying pans.
These are my boys from my team, Alpha Empire. This is one of our newer guys, Matthew McCarthy. He's only been about 11 weeks, but super heavyweight, just getting started. Huge hand. I think his hand's bigger than yours.
No way.
Massive. Yeah, it's quite the.
You're not kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then one of our more veteran guys, Mr. Johnny Dang here, been on the team for a while, another super heavyweight. So yeah, we got some top talent out here locally. Try to work with you a little bit.
All right, I'm nervous because potentially I'll be going up against these guys, and I'm not an arm wrestler. What do you do to warm up and get ready for the crazy amount of stuff we're about to do?
So normally when two arm wrestlers are getting warmed up at a table, you're going over, similar to how you're always doing your external rotation and things like that, your rotator cuff, it's very similar. This is a very stiff and rigid lift that we're doing. Essentially. And so just warming up all the flexors and antagonist muscles and all the things like that, and just going through the motions at about 10%. Just for reps. Some people warm-ups last 30 minutes and get a nice sweat. Don't have patience like that. So mine's usually like 3 or 4 minutes. But yeah, so basically you just get a grip, a normal standard grip, nothing confusing, so we're not actually trying to pin each other. And then first we would start with maybe wrist flexion, sliding the elbow back, and then just lean back and pin me, right? And I'll give you just like that, just a little resistance. And then it'd be my turn. And you just give me, and we just kind of work through this over and over and over again, right? And then as time goes on, we'll switch to different moves, right? So you're going that, then eventually maybe I'll have you top rolling. So posting backwards, trying to bend my wrist back, disappearing underneath the table, leaning back, and then sliding the elbow, boom. And we're just kind of, but light resistance, just enough to get things fired up, not damaging me, tearing me down at all, just getting everything that we're going to be using on this table today warmed up and ready to go.
Oh, okay. So Derek, can you tell me what you think? Who are the Mount Rushmores of this sport?
Oh man. So currently, I mean, asking that question is complicated because there's a lot of big names, but you'd have to put, 4 people? So the most known 4 people, you gotta have John Brzezinski on there. That's the GOAT. That's the godfather of all of arm wrestling.
The first name I learned about.
Yeah.
He's like the pretty intense guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, John's actually pretty calm. He can get intense on the table, especially when someone challenges him. But actually really, really calm, cool, collected dude.
Yeah.
And then you got to have Devin Laird on there, right? So Devin Laird, the biggest name in our sport, the guy that's probably brought the most eyes to it overall, especially as an arm wrestler. Devin's just a household name. If you know arm wrestling, most of the new fans come from following Devin, for sure. After that, probably have Levon. Levon Saganashvili has definitely earned his name on that list, probably as the strongest arm wrestler of all time, potentially. And then after that, man, the number 4 spot would be pretty debated. I would personally probably put Engin Terzi on there. Engin Terzi, a world champion in his own right, but also has done an insane amount for growing the sport. Started East vs. West, the biggest league in the world right now, and as also the Turkish national coach. So he's trained a ton of world champions, being a multiple world champions himself. So yeah, so this is more inside arm wrestling, so more hook driven. So their wrists should be touching all the way supinated in, and it's going to be using a lot more shoulder adduction and internal rotation of the arm. So it's going to be a lot more shoulder-based warm-up. What we were doing, me and Martins, was more elbow flexion and more posting back. So it's going to be warming up your brachialis, brachioradialis, things like that. This definitely going to be more chest, shoulder, a little more bicep because they're going to be supinated a little bit. It's going to warm up their bicep purely a little bit more, and maybe their wrist flexion because they're going to be cupping in the wrist as they hook. So just a little bit different muscle groups being used than me and Martins were using.
While these guys are warming up, could you give me 3 tips that you'd give to somebody coming into arm wrestling?
Oh, just getting started. Okay, in the United States, because it's going to be a different answer if you're across over the pond.
Right?
Yes.
I'm curious also why it would be a different answer, but let's start with the USA.
Okay, USA, you would find a local team, right? So in every major city, there's at least one arm wrestling team to be found. Generally, it's completely free. It'll be at someone's house, and sometimes at a gym or a garage or something like that. You would just find your local team on Facebook. There's a website called armfighter.com. There's ArmBet app, which it's basically like Tinder for arm wrestling. Like you find arm wrestlers near you, basically.
Hand-holding bromance.
And so you can check those things out to find teams near you. You go and you would start learning from veteran arm wrestlers on safety and all the things that are necessary. So it's definitely step 1. After that, things would start changing a little bit in terms of USA versus overseas.
Yeah.
Generally in the United States, this is seen as a hobby.
Yeah.
Right? Most people have full-time jobs, they have, the kids, they got all these things going on, and they dabble in arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Overseas, it's more viewed as a profession. It's taken more serious in general.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every person, but in general it is.
Yeah.
So overseas, they would train just for this, for arm wrestling. They'd wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe this arm wrestling stuff. So the guys practice would be like, we would lift weights every single day, and we'd have a little bit of table time every single night, right? But lightly, maybe like 10%, right? And so it's super damaging, but you would progress on technique and strength every day. But if I told, that means you can never really arm wrestle very hard over there. You rarely arm wrestle hard, like once every month or 2, right?
Yeah.
So over here, if I told these guys who worked their full-time job all week, had the kids, and they're like, it's finally arm wrestling practice day. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not actually going to practice. You're like 5%, and then you guys go home. They'll be like, this is lame. It's a hobby. I do this for fun. I want to have fun arm wrestle. So that doesn't really carry over. So in terms of second tip, you'd want to start, after finding the team, start working on your hand and wrist will be the number 1 thing. It takes years. It's slow twitch muscle fibers, right? So grip, wrist flexion, pronation, radial deviation, all the things takes so long. So if you're obsessed with trying to get stronger for arm wrestling, start with your hand and wrist, because that's just going to take forever.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I think that developing a standard, good gym routine is very important.
Okay.
Maybe actually we'll put that at number 2, and then we'll put developing hand and wrist at number 3. Because guys that come into the sport that already have a background of gym work, like they're going to be doing their homework all week, they're going to be lifting for it, they already had that established. It's fantastic to hear. If you don't have that, then develop that. Start building a routine. Start simple, baby steps. Just try to go a couple times a week, maybe then keep increasing that. But I think developing a solid routine of putting in extra work is monumental.
And you mean also the accessories, not just table time?
Right. No, I'm talking about accessories. I'm talking about
just
lifting.
yeah.
On top of the table time. Most arm wrestlers,
it's
do
like
table time once a week.
Almost like taken for granted. Like, of course we're going to lift, but no, you really need to structure it, plan it, and put the focus into it.
Yep. This is a Mazarenko table made by Igor Mazarenko, and it's generally hailed as like the top end of all arm wrestling tables. I've been seeking one of these out for years, and I finally got it. For someone had it in their garage, and they weren't using it, and I made the move on it. So I was able to bring that out here. Got to get the best equipment from our teams to learn on. But generally, it's just it's a super solid table. When it comes to table design, you want to find something that's portable and stable. Those are the 2 biggest things you're looking for. This is both, right? So everything comes apart. It's a little heavy duty, but not too heavy duty that you can't transport it. Everything comes apart and it's super mobile. You can fit it in the car. But if you have something that doesn't come apart, that's a pain. And if something that's too rickety and not stable enough, then it's super annoying because things are breaking and poking you and stabbing. The legs are gouging out marks in your leg. It's horrible. So
go to Target for these babies. Real easy. Get those electrolytes, guys, or pre-workout. I'm asking Derek if he can do the Kim lift on the Louis Cyr dumbbell. That's 280 pounds.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Let's go, D. Lightweight, baby.
Oh, no. It's a weight thing more than I'm just too weak. Like the hang around it
possible.
Yeah, it feels possible.
But then it's just pure weight.
It's like I haven't deadlifted. I can't deadlift a thing, bro.
Switching arms here, just do left arm warm up. And it's really nice how quick and easy it is to just adjust this. No screws or anything, just pull these pieces out, flip them over, and you're in. So I don't think it's been specified if Lawrence and I are doing left or right arm.
Generally, if you haven't heard anything, it's probably right-handed. I mean, most people are right-handed, so most arm wrestling matches are just assumed to be right-handed, unless specified otherwise. But you can still definitely check. I don't know if he's more preferable left-handed or right-handed. Most people arm wrestle both hands because it's just boring to do one hand. But like I said, because most people are right-handed, the right-handed trophies are generally, there's more money in the right-handed class. Right hand's just kind of touted higher. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, so I mean, left-handed arm wrestling, it should make a comeback. It's still exciting. It's just there's so few left-handed people that are interested. Okay, so we're gonna do a little gauntlet of such here. We're gonna start off Martins with a ready go with one of our newer guys, Matt, who's also super heavyweight, but only 11 weeks in. And then after that, we're gonna move into Johnny, who's about 2 or 3 years in. And then if he makes past them, he can get to Big Daddy right here. You know what I'm saying?
What's your nickname for your arm?
Intimate hand holder.
In a real match, the thumb knuckles must be showing to the referee. Mm-hmm. So always keep an eye on that. People will cheat and cover it, but if you don't say anything, a lot of times they'll just get away with it. Yeah. So if you feel your thumb knuckle getting covered, say to the ref, "Whoa, where's my thumb knuckle? Where's my thumb knuckle?" All right, John and Matt, I need some of that wrist right there. Yes, I like this. Ready, go. Atta boy. First match goes to Martins.
Okay.
How do I feel?
I'm like shaking. I'm like,
I noticed that.
I can't help it. Like, calm down, Martins.
You're good,
This is Matt's first practice match ever as well.
Yeah, this is my first ready go too. So yeah.
A little bit. I like this right here. Ready, go. There we go.
All right.
Level 1 complete.
When do they start using the straps?
The actual answer is when 2 opponents can't seem to hold on to each other, then you go to the straps. Now, there's a very famous arm wrestler, probably the most famous arm wrestler, he never holds on to anybody. Let's just be honest. The moment they say go, he goes, and he just lets it go because arm wrestling in the straps is significantly different than arm wrestling outside of the straps, right? So inside the straps, you're no longer holding on. I don't need to hold on or try to contain you at all because the rope, the strap, is doing all the holding on for me. So I can open my hand and get all kinds of creative with it. And the bottom strap is tied directly to my lat and my chest. So my big muscles come directly into play in the straps. Also, grip is a bigger player in the straps, which sounds kind of weird because in the straps, they can't run from you. They're bound to you. So now I can manipulate you down my hand because you can't run. Wow. If you try to squeeze really tight outside the straps, then I'm just going to let go and go away, right? But in the straps, I can't run, so you could make things happen. Grip plays a bigger part in the straps. There you go, Johnny, this. Yes, I like this. Ready, go! Match. You embarrass me in the team right now. He's brand new, dude. He's brand new. Get it together. Head backwards. Turn the switch on. Ready, go! Match.
Thanks, brother.
Level 2 complete.
Level 2 is complete, and I was nervous to get this far because now it means I got to go against Derek. And it's been a good life. It's been a good life.
Interesting thing about Martins and getting into arm wrestling that I've noticed, and a lot of top arm wrestlers have noticed and stuff, is that, and I've been seeing him around here forever, so I know his approach to training and the small details of things makes a big difference in arm wrestling. Little tiny 1-inch movement here, 1 centimeter there, working on small accessory muscles with functional strength, being strong, but also being able to move and use leverage and really apply your brain power. That's Martins. That's like what he's best at. So that's why everybody's been so excited. Also, I know how good his grip is. I know that I've competed with him in grip, that I know he has everything he would need to be insane at this. So that's why me and a lot of people are excited about Martins arm wrestling.
Level 3.
Final
How you feeling?
I'm about to piss my pants.
Yeah? You want to ref it?
Ooh.
Is that it?
All right, boys.
Oh,
All right, boys.
All right, Johnny.
All right.
He's already folding underneath the
You
pressure.
wrangle
these guys.
All right.
that's called loading, Martins. That's called loading? Yeah, you feel me loading in your hand?
A little bit toward Martins. A little bit toward Martins
Oh,
there.
don't go super fast.
A little bit toward
Because I
Martins.
don't want to. Don't go super fast.
Straight up the wrist a little bit. Yep.
Yep. Give me a signal down, ref.
Shoulders looking straight.
That's looking good. Where'd he go?
Back. Careful.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's a wall. Yeah. Wow.
Little different.
Freaking amazing. Yeah. Shit.
I'm in the rest of the sides. Yeah.
No, that is like, it feels like iron arms right now.
All right, come on, Martins. Come on.
Okay.
So, okay, let's
All right.
This one, I'm gonna go in with you. We're still do your normal move, cup in. I'm gonna allow you to get it in there,
Yeah.
and then our wrists are gonna collide. And then from there, I'm gonna be more defensive, but
Yeah.
just don't go too fast. We don't want anything popping or tearing, right?
So feel it out.
Slow there, yeah.
Right.
I appreciate that, yeah.
All right, straighten out, boys.
Yep.
Straighten out.
Shoulder a little bit. Shoulder a little bit over here. Straighten up.
There. Straighten out, Derek. A little tiny
Straighten the
movement. There you go.
wrists.
Looks good. Ready, go.
I'm gonna stay right here. You go in your comfort level. There's a lot of bicep and shoulder there.
Right there, yeah.
No, I'm saying you feel really strong. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me, you ready for me?
It's hard for me to sorry. It's hard for me to not open up. So that's what I just noticed I was doing. So I came back.
Right, no,
because I was
perfect.
doing this.
Perfect. Maybe focus on dragging a little more to open
Pulling,
you up.
okay, yeah.
And then sideways.
Yeah.
Right? Just mess with those three different angles.
Okay, let's go back to the same position.
Okay.
Right? And tension.
Nice. Nice. Now slide your elbow. Breathe. Okay. Now we're in a crappy spot, right? Because now you're all the way down there and
Yeah.
I'm still in the game.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah.
You're strong. You're so strong. Yeah, you want to, by the time we send it for the pin, you want to make sure you have all your faculties in order. You have moved me outside my chest, you have opened
Okay,
my arm.
not rushing,
and then,
yeah.
Rushing it would be bad because then you get, suddenly you're opened up, you're like, oh no. And then from there, I start working and you're already opened up. You're like, oh, it's going to be so hard for you to return, right?
Yeah. Okay, same position. Same tension. Okay. Go.
Breathe. Breathe, Martin.
Oh, I'm not getting the pinky fingers going. So, as with, I guess, any arm wrestling match or arm wrestling matches, sometimes they end up in straps. Still got to figure out why or how they end up there. But I need to learn at least some bit of how to use straps and be comfortable in it.
The arm wrestling strap Like I said, it changes everything because it now connects our big muscles below our wrist. It takes our wrist out of the equation somewhat. Yeah. Not all the way, but somewhat. Yeah. Because now this rope tied below my wrist is tied to your forearm as well. So it's how much I can hammer curl. I can now have direct access to my chest, to my lat. It's directly pulling that rope. So when you lose, and if I lose an inch in arm wrestling, but in the straps, odds of me getting that inch back are very hard. Because I have to pull through all your big muscles now. Yeah. I can't just evade and climb and get things done as easily as I could outside the straps. So they always say the stronger man wins better in the straps. It's more of a strength game in the straps, right? So the general rule of thumb when arm wrestling with straps is about 80% of your force is on this. Always putting a ton of force into this strap at all times.
Yeah, I don't really feel a lot there. Yeah, it feels loose.
That's where you'd want to, because the straps up in here was pretty loose. We didn't do it super tight. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it would be a lot of that. You feel us pulling on that bottom strap? Yeah. That's the strap pulling part. Mm-hmm. And then the rest, the 20%, would be up here on your hand and wrist and trying to keep this strap, you know, cupping and pronation, the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. There we go. So keep bringing this to here at all times. Yeah. In strap arm wrestling, remember how we were talking about you getting your cup at the very beginning of the match, coming forward? Yes. You never come forward in strap arm wrestling. Okay. Straps only go towards you. They never go forward. Yeah. Right? Because if you give me that 2 inches forward, you're probably not getting those 2 inches back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always straps going backwards. Now, I think you might like a tighter strap because does it feel uncomfortable? You're like, I'm trying to find the pressure.
Yeah,
where is
no
it?
Pressure
right.
there, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do a tighter strap setup. And you'll feel the pressure immediately.
Yeah. Do you do it or the refs do the strap?
Can I say like this is loose? I want it tighter, or
so whoever has the buckle gets to determine tightness. Oh, the referees will give you kind of like a medium strap setup, maybe a little tighter than that one, but not too much tighter. Okay. And whoever has the buckle, they'll give I think 2 pulls down. Yeah. And then the guy with the buckle can be like tighter or that's good. You can't say looser. You can say tighter or that's good. Okay. The guy without the buckle can't say shit. Interesting. They always try, make it tighter. Oh, guy with the buckle gets to see how tight it is. Okay, yeah. So that's one of the advantages of having the buckle. Yeah. There's some advantages, but there's some disadvantages.
I see.
How do you get, who determines who has a buckle?
Well, generally people will flip for it. So in a super match, at the press conference, or something like that, you would flip for it, or right when you walk to the table, you'd walk up and the referee's standing here, you'd immediately walk up with the back of your hand facing the ref. And if he's smart, he'll come up to that same side and be like, no, I want that side, because he understands the advantage. If you guys have a dispute, the referee will flip a coin right there, has it, and then you, like I said, you switch sides each round. Right. So, but you'd want to start generally with the first round is important because of damage, right? So if we had that first round, it's a war, and I had an advantage, great. Maybe if you had the advantage, you would have beat me, but because I had the advantage and it was a war, now I'm ahead in the super match. We're both tired, but I beat you. Now you've gotten ripped open. Let's restart this, right? Yeah. So that small advantage can mean, if they say go, all these ropes come towards you. You just open up his lat chest. Okay. Yeah. Wrist flexion. Yes. And then we start rocking back. Yeah. Okay, tighten up. If you start opening up, you tighten back up, Martins. Up. Now side your elbow across. Yeah. All the way across the pad there. Your elbow. Yeah. He's working that hand a little bit. Yep. There you go. Now let's start rocking back. Back. Yes. Yeah. There we go. Good. You wanted the press. You're so. I see you wanted to. Back.
I was like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I always want to fucking do that too. I gotta get it out of my head.
Woo! It's like, I'm like wondering, okay, am I in a good position or am I in a bad position? How patient should I be? Should I put power into this or should I just hold? Now I'm feeling like I'm losing feeling in my fingers. Is this bad? Should I start rushing? Yeah.
All new guys have horrible endurance. It's just because you build the workload by arm wrestling more often. So we arm wrestle once a week for a long time right now. Yeah. So you should be really strong because you're fresh and not tore down from arm wrestling. Yeah. And then a steep decline of endurance. And then over time, it's weird because if say you start arm wrestling every week, next week you would be considerably weaker than your top end strength. But over time, it takes months and then you finally get back to your original strength.
Yeah, because you work yourself out a bit,
You gotta work your way back up to it.
All right, so my takeaway so far is I'm not bad, but I'm not good. And I got quite a bit more ways to go. And I'm going to be practicing as much as I can until the Shaw Classic. But hell, the Dragon's going to have to come out. And Lawrence, I'm coming for you. Shalala. So like and subscribe, my friends. Scan this QR code to get yourselves a Barbell Apparel Strength and Known shirt to support the mission. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Boom!